Hey friends, Jakey here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I so appreciate you. And speaking of tuning in, that is actually exactly what I want to talk about today. But it's a different kind of tuning in. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm all about following my intuition. I like to call her Grace. Tuning in is what I call that, tuning into my intuition. Now, over the past year or so, I've had numerous clients ask me, how do you know that it is your intuition, your higher self speaking to you and not your ego? And that's what I want to talk about today. How do I know? There's a couple of ways that I know. First one is that when my intuition speaks through and when Grace comes through, she speaks without emotion. Her statements are very matter of fact. For example, in July of 2019, I was in meditation and the message came through in meditation, tell Dad everything. And I remember as soon as that came through, I was like, oh my God, no. You can't ask that of me. That's too big an ask. I can't tell Dad everything. I wrote about this in the book, but if you haven't read the book yet, it's basically the fact that I had healed my body by surrendering. Probably about 75% of what I had surrendered was in relation to my father. My father at that time was still alive, and I had not told him about it at all because part of me, I guess, was still afraid of being rejected by him. I was afraid that he would be angry with me, that he would think I was crazy, and so I didn't want to tell him. And yet that's the message that came through in meditation. And I'm like, no. And this, by the way, was the first time that I had said no in over a year, because that previous year in 2018, in February, I had made a pact with myself, basically saying, if my higher self comes through, if it says jump, I say how high. I am going to follow it no matter what. And I had done exactly that until this moment. When this came through, tell Dad everything, the fear that crept up was overpowering, and no, I can't do it. Thankfully, about 2 or 3 days later, again in meditation, the exact same message came through. Tell Dad. And I instantly started crying because I knew, okay, I've been given a second chance. This is important. I need to just do it. I need to surrender and I need to tell him everything. How did I know that it was in fact my higher self speaking? Well, for one, my ego would never have suggested that. Our egos are all about protecting us and keeping us in our comfort zone. And telling Dad everything would throw me so far out of my comfort zone that there's no way my ego would have been suggesting that. And of course, the other component that I mentioned earlier, it was said without emotion. It just said, tell Dad everything. So our higher self loves us unconditionally, whether we do something or we don't do something, whether we say something or we don't say anything. No matter what, our higher self loves us just the way we are and is accepting of whatever we choose. Therefore, there is no emotion attached. When the ego comes through, it can have an energy of fear, of jealousy, of shame, of anger. That's how you know that it's your ego. But when it is your higher self, there is no emotion. It's just a statement. And you can decide whether or not you're going to follow through. Now, I highly recommend that you follow through because your higher self has a perspective that is a gazillion times greater than that of your egos. And so following your inner guidance, your intuition, is going to allow incredible growth for you. However, it will put you out of your comfort zone, much like it did with me. And this is why I like to refer to my inner being, Grace, as my inner shit disturber, because she has on many occasions kicked me out of my comfort zone so far that I am squirming, and it's been worth it. The amount of growth that I have gone through as a result has been phenomenal. So I highly recommend that you start to practice this. If you haven't tried this, please give it a try and play with it. Ask questions. And this needs to be done when you're in the present moment, right here, right now. The easiest way to do that is to focus on your breathing and bring your attention into your body. And you can ask questions. I ask Grace questions all the time. And then see what comes through. I would love to hear how that works out for you. So feel free to send me an email or find me on Facebook or Instagram or respond to this video. And as always, if you like this video, share, please share. And if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do that as well. I love you, I appreciate you, and I wish you a fantastic day filled with inspiration. Inspiration from your higher self. All right, take care. Bye-bye.